Hello, let's play one of those classical games that actually has a story, a structure, and a pretty nice, interesting, I don't know, even a gameplay loop. But I don't know, I guess I just miss games like this that were fun and silly, and well, I guess this one has a little more politics to it than you would expect, but I think this will also be interesting, especially for nostalgia, but also for modern gameplay elements. And also the game is just
Boarded the
gorgeous.
743 from Pierre-Lorraine for Rosewater, Western Vespuccia. No baggage to speak of, in the literal or metaphorical sense. Just a little hope. And that doesn't take up much space.
The window has a crack.
Much has been said about the Western frontier. The perilous wilderness, the lawless towns, and the tough, hardened folk who make their way out there. Usually to get away from something worse. I suppose I'm about to become one of them myself. There's just one thing Rosewater's got that no place else has. An opportunity with my name on it.
Yeah, it reminds me though of those great older games like the Indiana Jones games and some other ones. Yeah, I think I could play even now Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis. Yeah, I know. I wish the main story was focused on,
The thoughts in my head
someone
are
more
running
interesting,
together
but
like the
meh.
landscape outside the window. Excitement and trepidation and boredom mixing like the scrub and rocks and soil into one long blur.
Okay, where do I get a gun? Or do I have a gun? Yeah,
One thing I know, I am ready for a change of scene.
one thing I'll tell you about the game is that the ending kind of depends on your choices and your interactions with the character, so there is a slightly different ending depending on what you do in the game as well, so it's not just a from A to B. They have electricity? I guess they had electricity even in those times. What are those, telegram poles? Huh? I don't know.
Huh. Quiet.
Quiet and dusty. Good day, sir.
Howdy, ma'am. Allow me to extend the warmest of welcomes on behalf of the town of Rosewater and its inhabitants. Folks call me Jem. And who do I have the honor of greeting?
Harley Legere.
Delighted to make your acquaintance. Might I assist you with your luggage? That is, if you've got any.
I don't.
Ah, right. Well, what brings you to our fair town, Mrs. Legere?
Miss.
Planning on sticking around? Say, what?
If you must know, well, I write. There's an opening at the Rosewater Post.
Well, best of luck with that. The editor at that place ain't somebody you want to cross.
Then we ought to get along fine.
I'm sure you will. But as official town greeter, allow me to offer a small caution. Rosewater ain't always such a sleepy little town.
Hey!
Say, I've just remembered another engagement.
This how you welcome new arrivals? I have a mind to give you a thrashing. All right, enough of that. Look, I was no choir girl.
I never got caught, never cried as much.
But I at least had some brains. Word of advice, kid. Don't
Yeah,
pick
beat
your
him up.
mark in broad daylight, especially not at a lawman's doorstep. Go on, beat it, or I really will give you something to cry about.
I feel like we should have been given the option to,
Now, where
pick
in the
his
ether is that damn
hat off
publisher's
his head or
office?
something. Yes, right click. Even have an inventory system.
October 25th. I'd like to extend an invitation to meet with me. How soon can you arrive in town? I await your reply and look forward.
Nice. Like kind of like the effect. Well, I could. I
So
should
they do
read
have
it
the law
better.
here.
Knock knock.
Howdy, stranger. Fresh off the train?
Yes, sir.
Come on in then. Let's have a chat.
About what?
I'm Sheriff Gamble.
Harley Legere.
Pleasure. Just passing through, or...
I'm here about a job.
Well now, that's refreshing. Few come to Rosewater these days with the intent of staying long. How are you finding our town?
Very picturesque.
Oh, it's great. Real pretty.
Glad you think so. Most folks take one look around and get right on the next train back. But I can see you have some real grit. I doubt the dust and the flies will put you off. Anyhow, welcome to Rosewater. You run into any trouble, you come and see me.
Can I send a carrier pigeon or something?
Doesn't look too comfy. Does this sell?
Nah, not real. The less I have to clean out that pot.
That's exactly what I was thinking. That pot of oh man, that pot must be a horrible thing to clean up. I just imagine the smell and the... Okay, let's not get into that.
A plain leather bag. Wonder what's in... I wouldn't have figured the sheriff... A lawman with a license? Guess Rosewater isn't so... Does this license...
No, it means I was officially... The paper's really just...
This fellow still...
Yep.
Looks like a pretty rough sort. What's in the bag?
Oh, that's a set of lockpicks I confiscated
okay,
from
I
a
want that.
would-be burglar.
I want that.
Impressive. What a Hey, Sheriff?
What's on...
Why have you got a horseshoe?
Ah, glad...
Oh no, why did I ask? That's a mistake.
My grandpappy told me a story about a blacksmith who was visited by the devil. The devil asked the...
A bag of...
So, the blacksmith...
He'll notice...
The devil howled out in pain. He begged the blacksmith to take...
A bag of love.
The smith agreed, but on one condition. The devil must always respect the horseshoe and never enter any place where one...
He'll notice they're missing.
Hell of a story, wouldn't you say?
Okay, I get the idea. How do I guess I need another leather bag. Not bad, not bad.
Looks sturdy.
Oh, this is where we use the lockpick.
Soft drink crates. A sugary, fizzy way to... Nothing inside but a colony of ants. Shame. I could go for a sarsaparilla.
Oh, sarsaparilla is a real drink?
I hope that isn't the
Interesting.
town water supply. I hope that...
That's an interesting looking character.
Soft drink.
Okay, so the physician. Where do everyone have?
Oh, hello. Don't think I've seen you around before.
Everyone has a
Just
pot.
arrived in town. Name's Harley and you're...
At your service.
Okay, I'll skip
Anything
some
in
of the
particular
dialogue.
ailing you today?
Now that you mention it, I've got this
I can take care of that for you. They do tend to be gushers, though, so it might be a while before you...
On second thought, I'll...
Oh, the frontier life has its... They do say that suffering...
For the soul? Is that a...
Huh.
Huh? Oh, I see.
That's impressive.
Cleanliness is next, and good health starts...
That...
And...
Okay, what can we steal from this guy?
I imagine you get your...
It's for cleansing before, not after. I am a follower of the modern European theories, positing that disease follows from the propagation of tiny animalcules living on the surface of the skin. Thorough washing with soap and water is said to eradicate them.
Drown the little bastard.
Some
Medical College of...
It's in Central Rot, not quite the University of...
Interesting.
Hey.
So,
Miss...
how's
So,
business?
What a... I'm a physician, Miss Leger.
didn't mean to...
I'm sure. At any rate, I've not... But that is... We are taught that idleness is... But better that I am idle and the townsfolk healthy than my surgery be full of the ill...
Got any
True,
knowledge
true.
to impart?
Oh,
You don't sound.
I'm sure you'll...
Give it to me. I want to know your.
Were Rosewater one of my patients, I would say. Not since all the Aurum claims dried up and the airship routes opened, leapfrogging over our rail line. The
Airships?
hangers-on keep this place gasping for breath. I fear they only... I hope I haven't...
If things are.
I swore an oath. As the town's only physician, leaving would mean abandon. There may not be many left to call. I am the only barrier standing between them and the...
Isn't that.
Say what you will.
You must know all.
I am well acquainted with all, but if you're just seeking God...
Why not?
I did have an apprentice not long ago.
What happened to her?
Oh, this is no... I encouraged her to put her talent... She's ministering to the local native tribe now.
Who is this?
I'm afraid I don't know much about them. I believe they call themselves the Owdam. At any rate, they don't come to the town.
I'll see you.
Pretty good dialogue. Yeah, this game is civilian dialogue. Oh, I guess I can double click. Okay. Post and publishing. Oh wow, that's a big building. No, let's not
Holy
do
hell.
it like that.
Are you alright? Don't you move.
Yeah, that would be so funny if I could ignore him, but let's get a doctor. Let's play things
Doc,
the
come
normal
quick. I've got an
RPG way.
emergency.
How can I be...
Some poor fools just.
At the road?
Yes.
Sounds like Joni's in...
Here he is.
Oh,
That was quite a high fall.
hello? I'm Dr. Say. Can you move? Spine seems intact. That I would... Right. He's in a bad way, but I'll get him back to my clinic. You are truly a good...
It was nothing. If you'll excuse me.
Of course.
They make you go inside without choosing. That's kind of annoying.
Hello, can I help you with something?
I'm here about the writing commission.
Ah, yes, you must be Miss Lejeune. I believe you and Joni...
Yep, got the.
May I see it, please?
I think that's a printer. Yeah, I think that's definitely a printer. I mean, a printer for printing big things.
Very good. Oh, one more thing.
Noted.
Go up those...
Thanks.
Henry Dixon, man.
Likewise.
Oh, okay, what is that? So, let's look at the settings. Yeah, let's go outside.
Miss Lejeune, I thought you...
I do.
All right, but...
No, I want to look at other stuff over here. Oh, this is the middle of the town. Undertaker.
Business seems slow today.
Yeah, let's go for the saloon. I mean, this is probably the most interesting thing you can see in the city.
These seem to be for.
And quite a bit of people here. Where is the bartender?
Nothing upstairs but a bunch of empty rooms.
What? Wait. I shouldn't
Now
have pressed
that-
that.
Food delivery for the.
Oh. This is the bartender. I guess it's in another part of the building I don't have access to.
Nothing upstairs.
Did you check all of them? Guess not.
These.
Okay, let's watch over here on the left. Oh, that's it? Okay. Open Opera House. This is actually very nice looking. It's a brick building.
Locked.
Okay, let's go to get our job then. Not much to see in the city. The animations are pretty smooth, although you can definitely see there is some AI trickery going on here with some of the animations.
Come in.
Hello, Joan.
Ah, yes. Please take a load off.
A what?
Whiskey?
Bit early for me.
Sensible. I like that. I, however, have had... Say, have we met before?
I don't believe so, no.
Well, let's get down to the meat. If you're going to join our little family here, I'd like...
Yeah, it's kind of annoying that there are so many modern politics in a game like this. Believe me, in the Wild West you didn't have a scene like this where two women, one of them with short, bossy hair, who was drinking whiskey and throwing men out of the window and nobody cared, and then you would get another lady over here coming for a job alone without any luggage. Yeah, it's a bit of a stretch. I'm just telling you because this is not how the Wild West was, and a lot of Americans will probably tell you the same. So this is not really the clothes they were wearing. I don't know why they have such weird clothes for ladies. I guess they're... You get the idea. It's a bit of a modern politics, but I'm more interested in the gameplay and the whole feeling of the game. That's a very nice room. What is that supposed to be? A hockey stick? I really like the way this room looks. Well, short, so that's not the answer. Void, not a good idea.
Me? Well, I was born and raised in New Britannia. I saw your ad while I was up in Pierre.
Well, admittedly, Rosewater isn't as... But maybe you'll find it too.
There hasn't been a dull moment.
Speaking of, your writing sample had me in stitches. Haven't spent much time in Lamplight, but your descriptions of the Toffs in Lyon.
That piece was inspired by my last...
Oh?
I had to go back and...
Oh, I hope it wasn't in connection with that awful business.
Oh, no.
The Expo disaster was a national tragedy, but you know, I can't help remembering it as the week our paper sold more copies than it has. Isn't that terrible? But enough about that. I loved your sample, and I like you as well, so I'm going to go ahead and offer you... I'll pay you 45 crowns for it. After that, we can talk about more regular opportunities.
Fantastic. So, a scathing comment, or maybe a hard-hitting exposé on the plight...
Oh, no. I want you to interview Gentleman Jake Ackerman.
Who?
Oh, the other one. You've been living under a rock. He's a true Western legend. We've got a real opportunity here. Star like that landing in our little... I'd like something in the vein of your sample. Acerbic and mordant. But maybe not quite so acerbic.
So, a puff piece.
Good, I want you to make Rosewater look good too. Show me a real...
Where can I find the...
He's taking rooms at the Jack of Diamonds just down the road. And his show is opening today at the Opera House. So he should be around... I don't know how you're situated here, but you're welcome to use the typewriter in the office.
I only write longhand, but I'd certainly be grateful for a quiet place.
Longhand. How charming. Now, if you have any questions before you go, by all...
So, who is... Not another...
Oh, God. Don't worry about him. Just a rabble-rouser with an axe to grind. Thought he could burst in here railing about my... Most folks stick to writing letters. I tried to calm him down, but...
I see. The Rosewater Post...
It was only the biggest story. I still got copies of the articles.
Of the etheric horror. Oh, looks like something of X-ray.
Can I keep this?
Frame it.
Any insight?
It's a far cry from what it used. In a way, it's nice not having to hear the noise from the... Oh, I don't know.
What
about him?
I was...
As far as you're concerned, the only person... If you're so keen to know about the rest.
I'm curious.
Well, my dad was a union man.
My
He worked the printing press for the Allied Fall Creek Miners Cooperative. Pamphlets. Then the mine owners brought the Blackburns in to bust the whole operation up. My dad was laid up for months and could never work again after. But we still had... I took all the equipment from the old shop and started printing up an early version of the Post just to bring... At first, it was all just community notices and advertisements from local stores. Over time, I got the hang of the whole journalism thing.
I don't want... My styles... I don't know.
We're talking. If you want to write for this paper, you're simply going to have to stretch yourself. Besides, it's not as if you have to say, finish it.
I'd best...
Right, yeah.
Okay.
Wait a minute.
What?
Talking.
It's just come to me. You're Spitfire Harley.
Who?
Goodness.
I saw you fighting back in 26 at Wellesley Hall in the Chum. You took out a brute twice your size with a right hook. Pow! It was like watching David bring down Goliath.
I appreciate the kind words.
Maybe, but for a 14-year-old kid fresh off the boat, was...
Thanks, Joan.
Of course. And
Yeah.
See you later.
If these two characters were more in line with
Spitfire,
what
Harley,
the
right in
Wild West was, this would have been such a great game, but I
I
guess
don't
even
that
as
just
it
beat
is...
all.
Yeah, no, that beats all, yeah, sure. Can I get any snarky commentary from this guy as well?
Excuse me.
How can I be?
What's...
You picked a fine.
Why is...
A few years back, you could hardly drive a wagon through the street. I'm sure you've noticed that's no...
Been working...
Oh, about 5 years. I was the first one Joni hired on shortly. Was a farmhand. Keeping books is much nicer than tending cow.
Exactly.
I haven't a devil of a fellow. He wouldn't be put off, but said he intended. Suppose Joni didn't take...
Those are some mighty fine whiskers.
Oh, why, thank you, Miss Leger. The missus tells me I ought to shave, but...
As you should. Anything I should know about the...
Can't really...
So where did...
Wherever the Orem actually is would be my... There's still some prospectors hanging on. I'm sure they'll all...
If they all...
Why, getting by. The railroad still brings some traffic. Folks on their way further west are shipping goods back east. Although not as many as before the trans... Easier to sail clear over the country. Suits me.
I'll leave you...
Appreciate it.
Okay, thank you. Next.
Was your meeting
Quite. Did you find any of those butterscotch sweets I asked for?
Afraid not. Only taffy and some peppermints.
Pity. This place seems to lack even the smallest of pleasures. Shall we?
That's a very nice looking carriage. Oh, okay, new character.
I'm really sorry, miss, but...
It's important.
I'm sure. Of course, Mr. Ackerman's upstairs getting ready for it. Why don't you come by and...
I just need to interview...
Well, now, if you're going to write about him, you should trust me.
Suppose it beats...
Gentleman Jake... Gentleman Jake...
Well, I suppose there's no way around it. Now, how do I get those lockpicks?
Shab.
And I didn't get any more items except the newspaper thingy. This guy again.
You again?
Oh!
Harley. What in the ether?
Oh, you're not still...
I am
Bet you're
upset.
Look, nothing. My brother and me are just doing...
Oh.
Your brother? I ought to knock you into...
Hey, you gotta look out for...
You picked the wrong mark, but hell, with a little effort, you two could... But if there's one thing turns my stomach, it's that's your flesh. If you don't have your own brothers back, who else on this wretched earth...
You made your point. Now, can we drop it already? I'm trying...
Legitimate. So you're not selling snake oil?
Nah, nothing. I'm selling tickets to Gentleman J. Only 20 coppers.
Wait here.
Oh.
Betrayal, murder, never...
Can you buy the ticket
Yeah?
without having any money?
I'll take...
Swell. And, oh, you... Ah, well, I'm afraid... Sold the last of today's tickets.
Sear.
This ain't exactly the callest, and folks around here are real...
All right, I don't need to see some...
And I'm sure, if you had a ticket... Of course, I might be, but I'd be putting my job... And I can't afford... After all...
Just tell...
Only a small...
Spit it out.
Just help me retrieve... It's only my pa's pocket watch.
What happened?
It was stolen is what? By that... Probably stashed it away in the old smithy. She's been squatting in there for...
Where'd your brother...
Matter of fact... He's trying to make... Decided he's gonna try and get... He's real...
If he...
Why, it's clear he ain't... I tried talk, but he'll be in real hot water if he gets caught. That's why I'm asking you to do it before he goes and... I can tell you could pull it off.
Offer bribe? Well, I guess we can try and get it, but... Seems like we need to get those lockpicks. Well, I guess...
That kid is call him...
Swell.
Dr. Bennett Clark. Oh, right, the Ethericity Fellow.
The Ethericity Fellow, that doesn't sound fun. What do you have to do to get that lockpick set? Let's see how the guy is doing.
Hello.
He doesn't look half bad.
No, he was lucky. Once I'm done here and the laudanum wears off, he should be right as rain. I'm afraid I haven't...
Oh. What's in the pack?
Oh, just some supplies.
Pretty common-looking leather pouch. The stuff in...
And...
Okay, so I guess that's how you're supposed to get that lockpick. You know what? I think... Can I just go... Exactly my point. Why go there? Can I just exit the city and be done with that?
Welcome.
Roll credits.
What? Hey, Sheriff.
Huh?
What was this?
Ah,
Yeah, I want to hear that story again. It's so good.
my grandpappy told me a story about a blacksmith who was visited by the devil.
He's still close enough to see me.
The devil asked the smith to make him a horseshoe for his own hoofed feet.
What a...
So,
Hey, Sheriff. Sorry, I was my...
My grandpappy told me a story about a blacksmith who was visited by the devil.
So, I don't get it. How far
The
do I
devil
have to
asked
be?
the smith.
He's still close enough to see me.
So, the blacksmith took a red hot horseshoe and nailed it straight onto one of his hooves.
He's still...
The smith agreed, but on one condition.
I don't get it. I thought that was the way to get it. Why did the developers have to add another layer to this? What do you mean still close enough to see me? What can I do so he doesn't see me?
Doesn't look too...
Maybe if I have to ask him about something else.
Yes.
Yeah, I want to hear the story for the 10th time.
My grandpappy told me a story about a blacksmith who was visited by the devil.
Hey, Sheriff. Sorry, fancy your...
Hardly. Picked that display up from a passing... But I like when the sun shines on their wings.
There's also a key over there. Can I...
Hey.
Something with the keys. Maybe there's something I don't
My
understand.
grandpappy told me a story about a blacksmith who was visited by the devil.
Reminder, confiscated items...
The devil asked the smith to make him a horseshoe for his own hoofed feet, you see. So, the blacksmith took...
He's still close enough to...
The devil howled out in pain. He begged
He's still close enough...
The devil must always respect the horseshoe.
This is just stupid, okay. I'll try and read the Steam forums, but why would they add another layer to this puzzle that doesn't need to be in here? And there's no other options. So, how do I get the lockpicks? It's a bad thing when you're stuck in the first chapter of the game just because you're choosing a path that apparently you have done everything to use, but you cannot advance in it. Why? It seems no one really talks about getting the lockpick. Okay, how about
Welcome.
if I choose... Oh, ask
Hey,
about the
Sheriff.
offers.
What's the...
Glad you asked.
Now these are standard issue repeaters. Pretty powerful rifles.
He's still close enough.
Thankfully, I've yet to use one in the line of duty.
Hey, Sheriff.
Huh?
Sorry, does the...
So how... What are you... Oh, okay, so I guess you're supposed to ask him about something else.
Hey, Sheriff.
Yes.
What?
Yeah, okay, well, yeah.
It ain't exactly
Yeah,
a
like I said,
metropolis,
I don't
but
really need it
it's
to
got
add
character.
extra layer to the game.
Got him.
That clock is so annoying. I don't know how people lived with clocks like that. I mean, I used to have one as well, but it got so annoying. I wanted to throw it away.
Not the best quality.
I guess we know how to use them.
This should be easy to pick. Just have to remember that rhyme I taught Bill. Good thing I wrote it down in my journal. I should...
What do you mean? This is kind of silly. I guess you have to listen, so it was all a prompt. Okay. A left, no right.
Fantastic.
Well, that's just stupid in my opinion. I guess you're supposed to listen to how it sounds, but come on, dude. That was a big waste of time.
Seems the obvious place to... Just... empty. Scrap metal. Did the blacksmith dabble as a Wainwright? Maybe the... Absolutely.
Remember, I was searching for a watch.
Well now. Got what I came for.
That is such a cool looking place with the cobwebs and the other stuff.
Not the best quality lockpicks. Fancy. Too bad there doesn't seem to be a...
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so we got that.
Hey.
Yeah?
Here's your watch.
No fooling.
They didn't used to call me Housebreaker Harley for...
Hey!
Anyways, you gonna let...
Sure. Oh, and I know we've had our tiffs, but my dear departed pa can...
That's not your watch at all, is it?
Yeah,
Well, it is now.
Kid, otherwise the only way you'll be able to tell the time on that thing is by squatting over a mirror. You get me?
Yes, ma'am.
Meh.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, are you ready for some thrills? Are you ready for some excitement? Are you ready for some fun?
Heckle.
Get on with it already!
Then without further ado, may I present the star of our show, the last man standing at the Bleachbone Girls Showdown. The only man to defeat bastard Billy Boakes in a duel. The man who discovered a gentleman, then gifted it to an orphanage. Gentleman Jake Ackerman! Yahoo!
Thank you, Charlie, for that wonderful introduction. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Gentleman Jake's Wild West. We got a heck of a performance for you today, but first, allow me to introduce my brave and loyal assistant, Danny Luo. Now let's get this show on the road. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you rope a steer. Keep it going, Danny. Maybe you'll lasso yourself one someday.
couldn't rope a steer if it invited itself in for dinner.
The sun beat down upon them as the duelists stood and stared. But Billy Boakes had never fought somebody so prepared. Jake drew his gun, and bang! The bastard crashed down with a thud. The legendary foe lay dead, defeated, in the mud.
You sure you didn't just bore him to death?
And now for a most challenging proposition, perhaps the greatest feat of marksmanship to which a man can set his sights. You see those 5 juggling balls that Charlie keeps whirling aloft in such a dizzying display? Ladies and gentlemen, fix your eyes on that green ball in particular, and do not dare blink. For with but a single bullet, I will pluck it from the very air.
Big deal. You were practically next to him.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is our show. Thank y'all so much. You've been a truly magnanimous, magnificent, and majestic audience.
And you can take home a piece of the legend. Come on down to the Jack of Diamonds to get an autograph or a souvenir ferrotype. We'll be there until last call. Stop by and shake hands with Gentleman Jake.
Ladies and gentlemen, good night.
Not a bad show. Quite enjoyable.
I'm telling you, Jake, I need that.
You knew the deal going in, Charlie. There's nothing I can do about it.
We'll see.
Hope I'm not interrupting, gentlemen.
My friend, weren't you, Charlie? Please do pardon. What can I...
Name's Harley Leger.
Well, shucks, it would be my pleasure, Miss Le... Shall we go upstairs to...
Lead on.
Miss Leger, permit me to...
We've met, actually. Not formally, I suppose. Nice to properly make your acquaintance.
Likewise, Mr. Luo.
Please, you...
So what did you... Pretty speak to...
Pretty good.
Yes, that...
I'm glad you... Wait a minute. Was that you?
The heckler.
Heckling?
Reckon I will... Shall we proceed?
Right.
I don't think we need to read the real story, so I guess I could have admitted that. Anyway, looks like you have a few options here and there, but the game is more or less linear, so I guess you have about 8 hours of gameplay. Bye bye.